Hi all, and thank you for watching the DecisionGuard channel. My name is Matthijs, I'm the founder of DecisionGuard, and in today's video I'm actually going to show how quick it is to set up DecisionGuard, connect any form of LLM or AI. In this case we're going to connect ChatGPT from OpenAI, and we're going to use it to basically run any kind of action towards our on-premise infrastructure. And in this case, I'm going to control the Lego crane behind me, which I borrowed from my 6-year-old son. He was willing to, submit his crane to an experiment, and he was very amazed when I showed this the first time to him. Actually having an AI, which you can talk to, right, using voice, and seeing the crane move when we ask it to, right, which is basically mind-blowing. And for us, this is a very nice demo of what DecisionGuard can do. We can not only, govern and have evidence on executions. We can actually use DecisionGuard to, deliver a very quick time to value to basically having any form of AI and connected to any form of infrastructure. You don't need all of that hardware with GPUs and custom models in your on-premise estate. You can basically use any kind of brain, right? Any kind of LLM. Have that talk to DecisionGuard, and DecisionGuard will actually manage the actions in real time. So we do zero trust execution with pre-execution prevention, right? Basically meaning we evaluate each and every action. We filter out the dangerous stuff like, the drop table, and we prevent that stuff from happening in real time. And when we do allow, we do so very fine-grained. So we can actually have this AI can talk to this target, and it can only, use this tool to perform that action with this variable. So that's how fine-grained it can become, and that's the authority DecisionGuard actually has, because we use something as a DecisionGuard action certificate, which can be used to actually scope the execution. So the tool hub only will give the AI access to, perform that that allowed action. So let's get into it. I'll show you how to hook OpenAI up here. We're gonna use GPT 4.1. I'm gonna have my API key here. We're gonna have a governed chat, so we have a little bit more control over who's the user that's logging in, who's leveraging ChatGPT. We can even have location-based access, leading to things like, what time zone are you in, and are you within business hours? And, that just gives us a little bit more leverage and control over the decisions we're making. This is not, mandatory. You could still have an MCP URL from this tenant we're now creating. You could throw that within basically any kind of UI from Claude or ChatGPT or Grok. And you can even, use that interface from your phone to control, in this case, the Lego crane behind me. For advanced use cases, we can also have things like DLP, PAI. I will do a video of that, after this one, in which we are actually, reading files on the server, and we're going to mask that info, and we're going to have full control over what info we're sharing with the user and with the AI. So in this case, we're deploying a on-premise tool hub, which is a Docker container. This tool hub will phone home, so we'll deploy it and it will phone home to DecisionGuard. We can have an additional VPN security on there. It will only answer the DecisionGuard anyways, right? It's a full ACL secured solution, so the tool hub we deploy is non-reachable over the internet. It will only answer the DecisionGuard. That's the prevention we do from, the AI working around us. We actually do a separation of the brain and the hands. So the tools live in another place. They are fully governed and controlled by DecisionGuard with the action certificate. And we will only give the AI access to the tools when we have an allow statement of what it's actually trying to achieve. Right? We could do so for SaaS tooling, so any kind of Claude, any kind of API key interaction will work here. In this case, we're going to deploy an on-premise gateway or tool hub using Docker. So what tools do we actually want present on the tool hub? In this case, we're going to go for terminal shell, file system, we're going to do some network CLI, and in this case, we're going to do some IoT with our Lego REST in there. We can have all kinds of tools. We can write certain tools, so there's no, you know, I can do this as long as it's IP connected. We can have a tool and talk to it using DecisionGuard and actually offer that connectivity towards any form of AI to perform any form of action. So it's very, very powerful. It's very capable. I'm going to have an SSH key with an SSH secret for our future demos, which I'll be recording later. I'll have the links in the video. We're going to use that key for all of our environments. We can have separate keys for production, development. Again, we can be very fine-grained. We are going to use that for all of these kinds of tools, except for our CLI and REST tools in this case, because I've got a different credential there. For my Cisco, we're going to do Cisco SSH, and it's just a plain username and password. I could have things like password vaults and all kinds of integrations here, right? So we're going to do this for each and every environment, just for all of these Cisco CLIs here. Okay, so we've got the credentials hooked up to our tool hub. By the way, these credentials will never be exposed to the AI model. It will not be aware of it's even logging in, right? It's the tool hub actually performing the action. So you can have any kind of credential in there you'd like. You could also have, if you've got a controlled or regulated AI model, you could also honor the credentials that the AI is actually using, but that's not a must. It's, you know, the tool hub, which is actually an execution boundary. You could have a micro-segmentation around this tool hub, making it very, very controlled. So this is our overview. Let's deploy it right away. Let's see what happens. So we already got our governed chat that's live. We can now access that using this URL or just clicking the button. We've got an API key we can use to integrate things like Claude Code. We can use it to basically run any kind of SDK, Python. We've got our pip and npm integrations there. You just have the API key and it will talk to your instance, this tenant of DecisionGuard, which we're now deploying. Then the Docker tool hub. Let's download that. And I'm gonna do this live, right? So let's see how it goes. I'm going to extract all of those files. It's fully prepped, all certificates and call home capabilities are in here. I'm gonna throw that in my local directory. And then let's pull up a PowerShell to actually get the Docker container running. Oop. Oh, that was jumpy. Let's see where it goes. There we go. And we're gonna do Docker compose up. There we go. So it's already started. And it should phone home to our instance any moment now. It takes around just a couple of seconds to be picked up. And there we go. We just saw this Docker container spawn up live. It connected towards this newly spin up tenant. And let me just see if I can show you from a Docker perspective as well. So, you know, we're not cheating. As you can actually see, all of the credentials are loaded. We connected towards our DecisionGuard cloud instance here. So there we go, and as you can see, it's my external IP address. Let's open up the governed chat here. So we'll log in. There we go. We are now in our governed prompt, if you will. There's some quick actions here we can perform. Let's see if we can read a file on one of my local servers, just to see if things are up and healthy. As you can see, there's an allow statement, and yes, it was able to read the file on my local VM, which is running here on my laptop. And as you can see, this is the same file we're now opening from the prompt. Again, this will be a different demo. We're gonna have the DLP and the PAI stuff in there. We're gonna have the location-based access, but that's for a future use case. So now, in this demo, we're going to control a Lego crane. So let's just open up the Lego server, because obviously the Lego uses Bluetooth. And we're gonna run a server from there. Let's see how that goes. Open the bridge, because there's a bridge underneath the crane, and it's my local IP address of this laptop, which is 99. It's running on port 8000, like we just saw the server spun up. Let's see how it goes, and if the crane will start moving. There we go, beautiful. So we just opened a bridge hanging on a Lego crane from OpenAI, from actually, you know, ChatGPT. And as you can see, the default bridge opening is at 50% power. So what happens if we try to do that again? Let's now close the bridge, and we're going to do that on 70% power. Let's just try and cheat it. Let's see what happens. So again, the Lego rest tool. Ooh, this time we're asked for approval because we just went a little over power spec. So 70% probably still allowable. Let's see how that goes. We'll prove it. So in this case, in-chat approval. As you can see, crane's moving a little bit faster than before. And the bridge has landed. So it's fully closed now. Again, it was allowed, but we needed approval. Let's try to open it up now. Let's say 90%. Here we go. As you can see, it's blocked right away. There's no working around this. In this case, we're actually witnessing the power of DecisionGuard here live, right? Because it is very sensitive to everything we throw into commands. So in this case, the AI tried to close the bridge with 90% power. And we've got a rule in DecisionGuard that says, okay, everything above, to 60 probably is allowable right away. Above 60, we need an approval from a human. Do this and make sure that this action, you really want that. And above a certain threshold, it will just start blocking because, it will be dangerous. So in this case, it's a Lego crane. It's a toy bridge. But it shows the power of DecisionGuard. It shows how deep we are looking into the variables of this command. And actually, let me show you what the proof is on the DecisionGuard side here, right? So as you can see, this was our approved statement. An authority artifact was given to actually execute. It's a one-time artifact, right? So this is the decision action certificate. And it can only be used once to perform the action, open the bridge with Lego rest, this AI towards that endpoint with this specific command, right? So in this case, this was the declared goal. This was what it was actually executing. And then the other one with the approval, as you can see, this was at 70% power we requested to. And yes, we needed approval. And in this case, it was approved by me in that chat live. And when something went wrong with that bridge, maybe there was a boat under the bridge and yeah, the AI closed it. We now have legal implications. Well, here's the legal proof. We can actually, show in court what was happening, who made the decision, what was the variables, what was the AI reasoning, what inspection did we do, what pipeline was used to analyze, all of the approval trails in there. The authority artifact is actually, verifiable offline, so it all makes sense. It's all hashed. We've got the full audit timeline here. We've got the integrity verification of all of the configuration, of all of our router inputs, the triage, and the full forensic proof here actually. Together with was executed the 70% power towards that endpoint and go away. And what we actually decided upon and what was sent back to the API. Perfectly showing what was actually going on, the full Lego rest decision making here, so we can drill really deeply in a very simple basic handling, opening a bridge or in this case a Lego crane, but it produces a very compelling evidence here in the backend, which we use AI and govern very critical infrastructure because we've got full control. We have 100% trust execution here. We've got perfectly legal binding proof, forensic proof even of what actually happened here, what rules were triggered, and I can also show you from a rules perspective what is going on here. We've got some rules here, and I can go to the Lego rules specifically, and as you can see, we have greater than 50, under 75 is an approval, and over 75 or 76 is actually a hard block. So I hope this gives you a bit of an understanding of how quick can DecisionGuard actually deliver value, in this case to control Lego with AI, and how specifically we can be in our variables and commands and the level of control this actually offers. We could ask the AI to, drop databases or do all kinds of dangerous stuff. Maybe it's prompt injected, maybe it's poisoned, maybe, there's a red team or it's just malicious. It wouldn't matter because DecisionGuard will still, act on the behavior, on the action of the AI. And once that is marked as dangerous, we can actually, stop that. And we do that with all kinds of filters. Obviously, the DLP filtering, the triage with AI. We've got the command filtering, removing stuff, dropping stuff that's bad. Reloading switches, bad. Defense in depth with all kinds of filtering for SQL injections, cross-site scripting, basically all of the OWASP top 25 behaviors we flag here and we stop together with the new OWASP agentic behavior, obviously. So all of that is covered off just by, having your AI governed through DecisionGuard and, insane quick value to actually, use any kind of AI, performing any kind of action towards any form of infrastructure. Hope this was informative. Hope to see you next time in our video in which we'll be diving into PAI and DLP. Thank you for joining.